right, so here we are, my dear friends, Aries. We are going to see what's going on with Aries now. All right, let's see Aries. So Aries, this is a general reading as usual. I must remind you that if you need a personal reading, the address is at the bottom left. Visit our website and you're going to find there a calendar, and it's very easy to book. I made it really, really easy, okay? All right. Okay, so general reading only for Aries. Let's see what we can come up with. Okay. All right, Aries. The energy for the week is going to be stuck. You cannot do anything. You want to do something. Perhaps you want to get married. Perhaps looks like you're interested in getting married or engaged or something like that. But it looks like, and I think you might want to go on a trip, or you might have to go on a trip. And but there is a relationship from the past you either miss, or it's stopping you from wanting to do what you want to do, because this is you being unable to move, basically unable to do anything. Now let me see here. So there is a love offer here. So there's an offer of peace, and there is you're gonna be fine. Let me see here. Wow. Okay, well, I mean, I think you're coming from a huge disappointment or betrayal. We have arguments here. We have somebody leaving or you leaving. We have an offer of, there's a financial offer. There is a lot of work. There's a lot of work. This disappointment cost a lot of work and a lot of money spent, or unnecessary expenses, and just a lot of strife and tribulation. It looks like, see, this card here is very symbolic. So what we have here is a person who decided that they were going to fight. For some reason they want to fight, you see? But look at their face. Look at their face. Does this look like a happy person to you? Does it look like they are victorious? The other person is not running away. The other person is simply walking away, and I think in disappointment. Look, even the other person at the bottom over there, they're kind of disappointed. They're not running away, you guys. They're simply disappointed. Then they're just walking away. And they even left their weapons behind. In other words, they don't want to fight with you. Now, look at this person. He's got a smirk on his face. He thinks he won the battle, but in reality, they lost the war. So this, to me, it tells me unnecessary, causing problems unnecessarily, thinking that, oh, I won. But in reality, well, did they really won? Did they really win? I don't know. And here's the same thing. It's just tribulation for no reason at all. No reason at all. Anyways, things are going to get better. Things are going to get better. There is peace coming. And this took a lot of work, but I think it's time to make peace, because we have peace in the middle here, and it's an offer of love, an offer of friendship, okay? Because right now you're totally stuck. You cannot move, you cannot do anything, and you probably don't even know what to do. Now let me add another card here, another 5 cards or more. And as you can see, we have the same card over here, okay? Same card over here. Let me see here. My dear Aries. So there's a lot of tribulation, but for really nothing. Again, this person thinks he won, but he did not win anything. In the end, he lost because the other people are not running away. In other words, they haven't done nothing wrong. So that could be vice versa, right? Who knows who did what? But the question is, this person thinks he won, but in reality didn't win anything. He's going to be alone. He's going to be left alone there. And the other people are just walking away disappointed. So, but there's a huge disappointment here in your past or current right now. There is a lot of pain. And let me see what this pain is all about. Let me see. Yeah, the pain is caused by the same card, you see? This is this unnecessary, I want to win, I want to win. Like, again, this person is left with the weapons, you see? The other fellows, they simply abandoned their weapons and they said, well, you fight by yourself, you fight on your own. So unnecessary. And perhaps this fight or argument is with your soulmate. This is your soulmate, you see? So it's one of those ups and down cycles. And you know that with your soulmate, you can't win. You just cannot win. Because sooner or later, you're going to be back begging literally. If you break up with your soulmate, you're going to have to go back and beg because nobody else will do. Nobody else can replace them. And you're either going to have to settle for something much less, or you're going to have to go and back and beg. You have no other choice. This is your soulmate. There's nothing you can do. So all it is sadness. This fights, this arguments, all it's causing is sadness and regret. Now, there's news coming in. Let's see what's going on. There's going to be justice made. There's going to be either a judge or a lawyer or an authority figure basically putting things straight. This is good and this is a victory. So 2, 4, 6, 7. All right. So in the end, someone is going to declare victory. And this is a Leo. This is a Taurus. This is Aquarius, Sagittarius, Virgo, Gemini, Aquarius. So it looks like if you have anything to do with a Leo, if these fights are with a Leo, I believe a Leo is going to be victorious because, of course, you are not a Leo. So the Leo is going to be victorious. Now here we have someone from above is going to tell you what to do. Okay, an authority figure is going to tell you what to do. Basically, it's going to give you some clear instructions, meaning this is the way it's going to be and that's it. I believe these fights were started unnecessarily. I believe this was an unnecessary burden or trouble that someone created. And let me see what else this is just not needed. This cost a lot of work, a lot of money, a lot of arguments, but there is going to be justice. This guy here is going to basically set things straight, and so you're going to have news coming, and this news, I believe, is an offer of peace, but at the same time we have a lot of sadness because I believe that in the end, whenever it is realized, these arguments were, these problems were created towards someone who perhaps is your soulmate, according to this card. And so it's almost like, you see, this is why we have the same card here. Someone might have won the battle, but in the end, they realized they lost the war. So it's a short-term victory, but then you realize that, oh my God, what did I do? What did I do? You know? And who knows what's going to happen? But there is a victory here. There is a sense of justice, a sense of everything is going to be fine. And this woman, she's the Empress, she's going to be fine. So everything is going to be fine in the end. But at the moment, it looks like you're dealing with nothing is moving. Your hands are tight, and everything is stuck because of the stubbornness, or I want to win the battle without realizing that I'm losing everything in the meantime. So that's basically, what's the main meaning of this reading? Well, it looks like you are stuck, Aries, because of something that was done without thinking. In other words, see, again, I want to point something out here. Please, take a look at this card. These fellows here are not running away. They're not defeated. They're not wounded. They're just disappointed. You see that? They're just running away slowly. And this fellow over here is really disappointed. And this guy is just walking away slowly. In other words, they did not want to fight. So is this you or is this them? Well, this is you right here. That's for sure. And basically, you, for some reason, see, I see this as perhaps you, I don't know, you came up with some information or some ideas, and you caused a breakup in the communication, and you caused them to basically become very disappointed. And I said, you know what? Yeah, you win. For now, you win, but in the end, I don't know if you're going to realize or not that you lost the war. For now, you win, but later you're going to realize you're going to have to come back begging, because once you realize what the damage was, the damage that was caused, you pretty much have no choice, because you see the wound, the pain is just unbearable. In other words, you know, sometimes we do things and then we say, oh my God, what did I do? You know, perhaps I acted irrationally or too fast or without thinking of the consequences. So I can see a lot of unnecessary suffering here, and it could have been avoided. There wasn't no reason at all, no reason. And so now you find yourself stuck and you don't know what to do, because either way, you either going to have to live with the loss of your soulmate, or you can't really do anything, you see? Because you think about it, think about this. Once you experience that type of relationship, how will you replace it? How will you replace it? Yeah, you can have another 1,000 relationships, but nothing comes even close. So basically, when we make this kind of mistakes, we end up living a life of regret. And the only solution here is to try and fix it, to try and apologize, to try and take responsibility and say, look, I acted too quickly, I acted without thinking, I did something that I should not have done, I'm sorry, can we at the very least stay friends? Even though the actual relationship might or might not be salvageable at this point, depends on how much damage was made. But at the very least, you know, can we stop this painful thing that is going on here? Because I am stuck. I can't move. I can't do anything, and now I'm going to spend the rest of my life trying to replace what I had. So it is up to each person to decide what they want to do. But I can see here that, yes, you want love, and perhaps you have other people offering you love. But the problem is that you lost the real thing. So I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I can see that the only solution is peace, See, peace, an offer. This is a gift, meaning an offer of peace. Because you are really suffering, and you're really suffering, and you're really suffering, and you're really suffering, and you're really suffering. So in other words, there's a lot of suffering here unnecessarily. So you decide, but as far as I can see, the only solution here is to make peace. Because otherwise, this is like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do now that I lost something that I can even dream of getting back or replace? There's no way to replace it. And it's as simple as that. So unfortunately, Aries, they're beautiful people. You have a golden heart, but you act without thinking. You hear something, or you read something, or I don't know, maybe you find a message on your wife's phone. And perhaps the message says, I don't know, I see you this afternoon. And right away, you jump the gun. Oh, she's cheating on me. And oh, I want to break up. Boom, done, finished. Without even asking. But then 3 months later, you find out that she was going for a job interview. And the interviewer told her, I see you this afternoon. But of course, because it was a man writing the message, you assume she's cheating on you. So in other words, Aries are beautiful people, but sometimes you act without thinking. All right, so this is your soulmate. This is what you had, and this is what you have now. You just work and make money, work and make money. So you had a beautiful relationship. Perhaps you were even married, and now all you do is work and try to make money. Anyways, so that's your, I don't know why this candle died. I think I made wind with the card. Okay, you guys. So this is your challenge. This is your person, and this is what you're doing now. Just working, working, working. Let me see now love message here, and then we're gonna pull two final messages from the universe, and let's see what's going on. Okay. All right, 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Trust. See, this is the problem. You do not trust, or you do not trust. You need to trust people. All right, let's now pull 2 messages from the oracle here. Let's see, one from your person and one from the universe, or whatever comes out, my dear friends. Whatever it comes out. Okay, so 1 and 2. Okay, so here we have fated meeting. So perhaps you're going to meet someone without pure coincidence. In other words, non-intended. Fated meeting, as you know, it means coincidence without any expectation. Meant to be destiny. I left when I saw you with someone. There you go. So you see, perhaps, like I said before, you see a message on your wife's phone saying, I see you this afternoon, and you thought they were cheating on you, they were with someone, and so you left. But then you find out, and suppose you made a lot of damage when you left. In other words, I'm going to make you pay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. You try and destroy them. But then you find out that they were just going for a job interview. Your wife was going for a job interview, and the boss was saying, I see you this afternoon. But now it's too late. In other words, you should have do a little bit more research. So anyways, I mean, in the end, you're going to be fine anyways, but I don't know how you're going to replace this kind of relationship, or will you try to make peace, or at the very least stay friends? Because even though you might not be able to revive the relationship you had, but at the very least you can stay in peace without having any, why have hard feelings out there? What is the point? You know what I mean? So that's all I see here for you guys, Aries. You're very beautiful people, but like I said, the only thing is sometimes you act without thinking, and then you regret the damage, and then it's too late. You know what I mean? Anyways, subscribe to the channel, and if you need to talk to me, that's my website, and whatever you need, we can set up some kind of a session or tarot or conversation, whatever you like, okay? Thank you so much. Big hug.